there's a first time for everything. And I'm surprised that it took this long. But I'm on the train today coming back from the gym. I sit down and first I'm just sitting there. I didn't really look at anybody or anything. I was just sitting there thinking. And then I noticed this guy in a yellow shirt. Older, like Hispanic man. Not like too old, probably in his like 40s. Mid 40s. And he kind of looked at me, and you know, sometimes you just glance over and you see people, and you just see them, and then you both turn your head, and that's the end of it. So I turned my head and pulled my book out and started reading. And for no apparent reason, he moves from the other side of the car and sits next to me. Now there's plenty of seats, and he had already been sitting down. So I'm sitting at the very end of a row of seats. It's 3. So I'm sitting like, there's no chair here, it's a door. And then there's 2 more right over here. He gets up and he sits in the middle of those 2. I'm like, maybe he was just didn't like the group of kids who were sitting behind him. Like, okay, whatever. Then every couple of seconds he starts to scooch closer to me. I'm like, okay, this is really strange. And then it just hits me. This man is trying to pick me up on the subway. And then I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? I don't understand. So I just immediately go back to my book and read. And luckily there was only 2 stops until my stop. In the meantime, he's scooching ever closer until he's basically in the seat next to me. And every once in a while, he will bump his leg against mine, and like, this man is crazy. This is insane. So eventually my stop comes up, but I get up and put my book in my bag like a couple seconds before, the train stops, because I didn't want to sit next to him anymore. And I'm standing at the door, and I can see in the mirror the reflection of him, and he's looking right at me. So the car stops, the train stops, and the doors open. I walk out, and he walks out too. And I'm like, oh my God, no, he's following me. But luckily, he follows me out, and obviously he realizes that nothing's gonna happen, and he just walks up to the next car. But I was so prepared to like walk around the neighborhood all night until I lost him. It was like, oh my God, am I really gonna have to do this? Am I really gonna have to like go to Starbucks and get a coffee, and then go to like, I don't know where else, go to a restaurant and have something to eat to shake this man, and not go straight home so that he doesn't know where I live? But luckily it all worked out. But that was the first time for me that anyone tried to pick me up on the subway like that, just like not saying anything but trying to touch you. Very strange. But I was a little worried when he started to follow me out, but the rest of the time I was like, oh my God, this man's trying to pick me up. I can't deal with this. I'm not attracted to 40-year-old Hispanic men. Sorry.